Hello, my people. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more CS news. It is currently 8:49 p.m. here. Where are you guys in the world, and what time is it for you? You're going to be seeing this the next morning, so there might be some new stuff popping up in Counter-Strike, but let's talk about it, right? Let's keep up to date on what is going on. Something big and breaking the last couple of days that we have seen is some alleged news out there around the leaked salary of one of our best players of all time, that being S1mple. Now, I want you guys to all take this with a grain of salt because I don't know if it's true, but of course, we're going to talk about it anyway because it very well could be true, that being the salary that S1mple is making with BC Game and his supposed contract and buyout from Na'Vi to play on BC Game. Now, all of this being reported by players and their sources on all of this, which, I mean, they seem to be in the realm of possibility, and that's all I can really speak to on the sources of all of this. So again, grain of salt, but let's have some fun talking about it. And that is them reporting that S1mple is apparently making around $130,000 a month with BC Game. And there was a lot of thoughts that went through my mind in the last few hours, kind of thinking this over, how I want to approach all of this. And what I ended up on was this might be the biggest steal anyone has ever had signing a player in Counter-Strike. And we'll get back to that in a minute. They've also, of course, said this is, of course, off of rumors out there of alleged salaries. This would make him the highest paid player in all of CS2, which I think still makes sense when you also, you know, you're S1mple. And the next one might just be down there with ZywOo and what Vitality can afford. And they have a brand new sponsor. It's a gambling sponsor. You guys see it on the front of their jerseys. I just don't know what gambling sponsors I can say on this channel. There are so many gambling sponsors in Counter-Strike right now. Some of them I'm allowed to say. Other ones I'm not allowed to say. All of them pay insane amounts of money that's taken over the sport, okay? And no, I'm not getting angry. So we got ZywOo sponsored by so-and-so, and he's making the alleged, you know, over $1 million a year. And then above him, that being S1mple, who is now playing for a literal crypto casino who has a team in our game. And for me, what I was thinking was, that makes sense. Like, this actually might be one of the biggest heists we've ever seen in Counter-Strike, where you get one of the greatest players of all time, one of the most notable players of all time, for a measly $130,000 a month. All of this also speculated around a $500,000 buyout from Na'Vi and a contract that only spans a few months with the team for reportedly what is going to be seeing how he works into CS, seeing how he flows into the game itself, which I think, based on all reports, he's done a very good job of bringing this team up to par, bringing this team into the limelight, and also potentially qualifying them for ESL Pro League and the Major. He has done his job. This man is probably going to get some bonuses outside that salary, and I think he has earned that. Forgive me, guys. I've had a couple drinks. I might just be on a yap session right now about money and Counter-Strike. Do I yap it? Do I yap it out? Frick! And to put this into actual context, there are streamers and content creators out there that are switching their streams to platforms that promote gambling for millions, if not tens of millions of dollars. And when I look at this in the scope of BC Game, they are now a crypto casino that run and operate their own team. So there's going to be some big finances spent on the entire roster, but you are getting one of the most notable and recognizable names, not just in Counter-Strike, but in all of esports for a measly 6 figures a month. That, to me, is a steal. I watched Aiden Ross the other day and many others before him sign deals that are worth tens of millions for the entire year, if not, 50 million. And numbers reported even higher than that. If you can get S1mple for what? $1 million to have a trial period for 4 to 5 months, you're telling me that's not worth every single penny out of BC Game, who have had their name in the spotlight for almost every match he's partaken in, and even more so now than ever because they have a chance to make Pro League. They might even make the Major. That has to be the highest value spend that they've ever had. And I'm done yapping on this topic now. S1mple supposed salary has been leaked. Do you guys believe it? Do you not? And whatever they're paying him, I'll be honest, whether you like it or not, whatever they are paying S1mple to be on this team, they are getting their money's worth with him. That is 100% guaranteed. Anyway, moving on from that absolute yap session, I do apologize, guys. We had some other news out there we talked about, also including S1mple. It's this Escape Gaming or ESC Gaming, whatever you refer to them as, the alleged radar hackers who S1mple called out, some Big Clan guys called out. If you guys don't know ESC or Escape Gaming, they actually took down Big Clan this past week and then went on to flop against BC Game, and they flopped in a couple matchups that were actually broadcasted. There are a lot of clips against these guys for alleged radar hacks, which I will not comment on. Is it suspicious? Yes. When pro players call you out, is it not a good look? Yes. Did they flop against BC Game? Yes. I have nothing to say on the matter of what they've been alleged of, but along with that, it's actually Overdrive talking about Polish CS because it is a Polish core roster over there, or Polish majority, if not all Poles, and he wanted to talk about the scene and the state of Tier 2 CS, which we have seen deteriorate over the last few years. That is 100% correct. We have the Chinese CS scandal ongoing, of course, where what was it? It was Boros calling out Adam and somebody formerly of Team Adam for a match fixing scandal over in China. A lot of these lower tiers of CS are riddled with this kind of stuff. We all know this. And so Overdrive took to Twitter to talk about this. And PashaBiceps, you know, representing the Virtus Plow back in the day, he, of course, had something to say about this and Polish CS. As Overdrive had tweeted, Polish CS 10 years ago, the legendary Golden Five, that being the Virtus Plow, and Polish CS now, radar teams and cheaters, as he is directly referring to Escape Gaming. Then Pasha said, the Polish scene is growing and we are getting stronger, just accept that we are better. To which Overdrive says, I wish it was true, bro, but I see it is not that good, and it's not about only Polish CS, it's about Tier 3 CS as well. And obviously Overdrive kind of insinuating the fact that lower tiers of CS have kind of fallen to the point of us seeing all of these allegations and all of this suspicious behavior going around, which I don't think we're ever going to stop. You know, last time I covered this was like, what, the FBI getting involved, and there's been so many accusations tossed around that never reach a finality of anyone actually receiving punishment. And it's been the common like circling point of, if you are a lower tier CS player, you're never going to be a tier 1 player, never going to make it, maybe even make a major, and you know, you're never going to make it to much. Why would you not just drop down a tier or two and operate around these lower tier tournaments and make thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars cheating, radar hacking, match fixing, whatever the suspicious behavior actually is, and you don't face any repercussions or any punishment besides some disdain from the hardcore community, but you're never going to face any legal action towards you? Why would you not do that if you're from a country or a region where that is life-altering amounts of money? And I don't know if we can ever stop it. So that was Overdrive versus Pasha and the return of Polish CS. Will we ever see it? And that creates a much larger question, by the way. I was recently listening to a podcast about this too. All of the scenes we have seen, all of the regions we have seen fall off in CS. I think it was actually Banks. Banks is a great podcast on CS. You guys should check it out. He was actually talking to Alexi B and Snappy, two great IGLs, obviously, and they were talking about the fall of these regions: Polish CS, Danish CS, you know, Brazilian CS, and how some of these countries once were so dominant and now have fallen off. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but Polish CS, will it follow the wheel? Will it come back? You know, one of the starting points of Counter-Strike, will it eventually come back? Pasha believes so. Overdrive, maybe not so much. What do you guys think? In some crazy news out there, guys, I have no idea how this came to be. It is all of a sudden Team Liquid, who may be announcing EliGE sometime soon. Thanks to Reddit, all of you Reddit investigators out there, and because of the logs of all the players and the rosters out there, it is Team Liquid who have registered EliGE for the upcoming Fragadelphia Blocktober event, and he will be on this roster. And I'm like, what? EliGE, of all people out there, is going to Team Liquid. Slap me silly. There's no way this is true. Of all the guys you could get, you're telling me EliGE is going to be on Team Liquid? I mean, of all the guys out there, this does make sense. A return of Liquid EliGE for sure to fill in back for, you know, someone like Twistzz. Could it work out? Yeah. But did I see this coming? No. I don't think any of us saw this coming. And this is just like taking me by so much surprise that I will hope to see you guys in the video where this actually gets officialized. But as of right now, Liquid EliGE, I'm not sure I believe this is happening. I'm refusing to believe it for now. And speaking of Liquid and former members out there, it is now Twistzz also giving his official goodbye statements on social media on screen for all of you guys, which is a nice little touch. You know, he actually went out on a pretty good note for Team Liquid, considering how rough the last 2 years have been for this team. And I don't mean that with any ill will. It's always been fun to watch these guys play, and it kind of sucks that they went out on a tail end, which almost looked like a pretty big upside for the guys and what could have ended in, you know, maybe something a bit better. But Twistzz will not be staying. Of course, he'll be returning to FaZe. We have no idea as of right now who he will be replacing, but some nice kind words. And he says there was no ill will and no, you know, hard feelings outside of the server. These guys had no bad feelings outside the server, so apparently got along pretty well. And he did say his official goodbye, which it does break my heart a little bit. You know, being a Canadian, being a North American man himself, I count him as North American, and I don't know what he's going to do with FaZe. I don't know how this move is going to work and who it's actually going to benefit. But him saying his official goodbye means another little bit of a reset for a Team Liquid who have been like this for a while, but they're still a team who had potential. And they take a map off Vitality or push Vitality to several overtimes, and they don't win a lot, but they had a team with potential, and certainly an upgrade from when Yakinder was with them. And Yakinder has obviously now found much greener pastures. And so I'm wishing Liquid nothing but the best of luck. Twistzz has said his official goodbyes. And now we see who he says goodbye to as he enters that FaZe roster, because that's still up in the air. And one last story for all of you guys. I got to get out of here. I got to freaking get this video edited to get out for all of you guys. We got an old timer out there, right? That being Shox, proving that he can still do it. I watched this clip and I almost got upset because this was one of the most casual, happy-go-lucky, easygoing aces I have ever seen. He just goes out, gets 4 deagle kills and an ace, and it looked like he wasn't even trying. All right, this made me angry, Shox. You're so good.
Middle, je décale short et je lui mets une bastos, les gars. Genre entre les deux yeux là, regardez là. Bam! Encore un, bam! Encore un, bam! Bah, vous avez vu? Et ça marche bien, hein. Entre les deux yeux, faut viser. Est-ce qu'on peut continuer? Oui, encore un!
Welcome back. It's your game, Purple.
And that's going to do it, y'all. Hope you guys all enjoy. As per usual, thank you all for watching as we slowly approach 81,000 subs in the channel. You guys are amazing as per usual. Thanks to all of you guys who've been leaving comments. I really do appreciate all of you guys, all right? I'll be gone this weekend. I will have my travel set up in case there's any breaking news, you know, like Liquid making EliGE official or anything else going on. I will be back at home for a good old wedding. So you might see a good old room recording video. And if you don't, I'll see you back here bright and early Monday morning. Enjoy your weekends. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you then. Take care.